maybe not. So here it goes. Top of the zone. I'm going to put my feet, and I'm not going to take strides and all that. That's got to come later. So I'm going to kind of get into a good position. I'm going to get myself turned, but I'm not like turned and twisted. I'm just turned until my chest is like here, like in that space. And I'm right there, and I'm going to pull back, and then I'm going to try to turn just like we did on the bucket. And I'm going to try to hold my arms in that good position. And I'm going to feel my hand pivot. And it's really all there is to it. And before we go, let's do exactly what we did on the bucket. We're going to get to here. I'm going to move this up so we're not standing on that edge of that carpet. Is that okay? As I want to get to here, and when I pull it back, I want to lock my front arm, and I want to go. And I want to stop. That's what I want. I know that that's got some whip, and even if it whips, I can't go much past that. So it's like, okay? You want me to do it? You got it. Go. It's exactly like it was on the bucket. And then you took a full swing. Did you listen to a word I just said? Let me show it to you one more time. Yeah. And what brings the bat back to the ball is my rotation. I turned away and I brought it back. Yes. Do it again. There it is. Now, when you bring it back, there's some anchors. I don't know what a good analogy would be. The bones in your body say you can't go past this. Well, if I can, if I pick my front heel up, I can go a little further. If I lift my heel up, I can do it. If I twist my foot, I can go a little further. And you're like, yeah, but there's bones that stop you and give you. So when you pull back, like when I pull back to here, like that's as far as I want to go. Can I go further if I break my leg down and twist it out? And you're like, yeah, you can, but you don't want to. You want this leg to be an anchor, meaning that it's in the ground and the femur attaches to your hip. You can turn your hip in that femur, but that dang femur ain't moving. It's friggin' anchored. That makes sense? So when you turn, like that's it. To turn more, I'd have to move my femur and get it out of the way. So when I watch you pull back, I need to watch you go. And that femur holds right there, wherever it's at. I don't care if it's out there or if it's in there. You just get it where you want it and hold it. And now you're going to pull it in here tight. You're going to hold position and go, whop. Watch my anchor move. That's a right-handed version of the quickness that happens. And so do you use your hips? You're like, yeah, kind of. You use your leg? Yeah, kind of. It all kind of ties together up through your body. So there's a kinetic link and all kinds of different words that people want to use. But locked, that's it. Now when you swing, when we were on the bucket, I couldn't use these. All you had to do is just use your core muscles. Please do that again. Try not to let your hips get out in front of you. When this moves, that moves, this moves, they all move together. Woo! Way better. Way better. In the bucket for 2 points. Keep your posture high. Yes. Look at you. Do the same thing this time. I need you. You can now go a little further. I want you can go until I can go to here. So I can't go any further when I hit the ball. I'm going to let you pull it back, hold that good position, and go woo, and go here until you turn over. Like, so that would be as far as you can go without. So we'll call these a no roll swing. So it's going like, and that's about as far as I can go. So don't go wide open yet, or it's going to hurt your wrists at the end. Just keep it toned down, but go a little further, a little bit. That's it. Yeah. That's it. Keep it right there in front. Turn. Let me do one. No roll swing. Top of the zone. Hold your plane. Hold your plane. Your arms are going to be straight out because you've pressed them. You've went poof. Yours is just like forcing. His is like almost spinning on the top. Yours is just so stiff. The coach is like, he's coming here and it's just throwing it. Stop. I'm looking at this angle from here to here. Dad can probably see it too. I'm going to put this on you so that we can see it. That is right there. Is that the same as your bat? Raise your hands. Beautiful. That matches every time. Never, if you go pick your favorite player and get them to contact, and you'll look at that line and that line, and they're perfect. Pull her back and go, baby. That's the plane. You. And I know you're thinking, man, I got a long way to go from getting in my stance and hitting it, and people that teach it from their stance. Try to hold your bat a little more like this, a little more like that. They're not teaching the swing. They're teaching how to start. They don't teach anything in the middle. They just kind of, and the body kind of works naturally and does it, and you can kind of tweak some things, and you're hoping and praying that the kid naturally just does something. But when you guys are so dang athletic, it's pretty easy to do. But teaching the fact that, oh, I got to hold it and rotate, and then I got this double rotation going. If I can tap into those, then we're good. Like, these are the things that we're looking for and talking about, and you get to hear me say this over and over and over. And when there's a question, you don't really listen to, like, you listen to what was said and try to rehash what you're hearing today. 2 more, top of the zone, and then we're going to move somewhere else. Yeah. Now I'm going to turn you loose here on these last 3, and I want you to just make sure that you don't outrun your hands. Like when I say turn it loose and spin and go, like it's like whoom, but you have to. This front arm can't get lax and stay behind. Like, it's got to go, and it's got to react when you turn. It's got to be now. So I need a full. You can pull back and take a full stroke. Try to hit it somewhere far. Angles match. Go. Now I need you to see something. Now you got it on picture. Is that you kind of get back in your start spot, like that angle right there. When he finished, almost perfect. Can you see the angle now? Like, take a picture of that, Pops. Like, that's what it looked like. And if you're finishing on plane based off the baseball, then you're like, I got it. All right. Now and I'm moving you fast, right? Like, I would really like for you to just sit here day after day after day going, I'm on the plane, I'm on the plane, I'm on the plane. And your dad don't really have to say much other than yes or no. And you probably got the feel too. So there's really not much to teach or say or hold. It's just basic physics now. So you obviously can't do a pullback. And Cooper's like, well, but that gets me the plane. Like, there it is, follow it back. There it is, follow it back. And he just sits there with his eyes closed and goes, and And I bet you I'm pretty close to the top of the tee every time. And you're just like, oh, that's what you do? And you're like, yeah. Then, so as we head back to the start, like we're just inching our way back. Once I get to, here was the moves. I pulled my barrel back as far as it can go, and then I pull this back, and then I'll do my rotation, and I'm undoing that. This little part right here is called our coil. Okay? And how far do you go back? You go back until you hit some tension. I don't know, different kids have different spaces, but you don't hold your hands right here and hit. And you can, I guarantee you can get on Twitter and somebody will say, hold them right out here and then go web or whatever. I don't care. But if the principle is I got to be on plane, that plane brings it back here. And eventually this elbow, front one, is going to get in front of those hands. So when I throw batting practice, that's one of the things I check. I'll get to about right here and you'll pull back and I'll see from your perspective, you're throwing to me, my hand is in front of my elbow. And as I pull back, when does my elbow get in front of my hand? About right. That little piece right there, that comes from right here, once I pull back all the way, that little move, that little piece is our coil. So we now do our coil drills. So we get set up, and you can start from right here, but we're going to kind of pull back and kind of stay in that same position. And now we're just going to go. It's like taking out that big long, because I know where it's at now, and I know what position I am when I get back here. So get it back into that position and give it a go. Now that's big. Now, and your whole leg's moving every time you do it. Like if I can grab your leg, and I hope that's okay. If I hold your leg, twist back until that's it. As soon as I feel it moving, that's it right there. Like the move's not big. Can you put your chin over your shoulder? You can still see perfectly. If you turn past that, and now you can't see over your nose and you're one-eyed. But as long as your chin can stay right, well, don't twist it, but your shoulder's going to work right underneath your chin. And then this shoulder is going to take its place. That makes sense? Because you're rotating, you're going to pull back, and that shoulder's going to roll underneath your chin, and you're going to go, woo, and it's going to turn to there. If you don't pull, if you just stick your chin out here and hold, and it's not, like you're not a rotator. You're a hand pusher, or you're a twister, or you're whatever, a snapper. So don't let your leg, and this will be something, this we can't fix today. Like this is something that you have to feel, and Dad's now kind of got an idea. It's like when you pull it back, like it's just there. You can't let this thing twist open, because then you can turn all the way around, and you're like, who wants, that's not a good move. So anchor's got to hold. Break. And most of the time it just kind of feels like this. It's kind of, you know how you squat or you deadlift or you clean, where you just kind of stick your butt up and you just kind of goes like that? Can you just do that with one? Perfect. That was too big. Just stick your butt out a little bit. You just put your hip in a hinge. And if you do that with just this side, that's kind of what it looks like. Just like boom. Because you're going to lift your leg, right? You're going to go, you kind of watch it move. You just kind of watch right there. Like I'm in my space and I'm going to go. Like this one's coming up and turning and I'm getting in this position. And we kind of got a long way to go, but you can kind of feel or have you're on the right track now. You can now go, all right, I just got to get back to my stance. And if I can do all the stuff from contact back to my stance, then I'm the man. Then you're the man. And how you stand, and I probably want to say this so that you can hear this too, is how you stand and what you wind up as your stance needs to be as close to this as possible. Like that would make sense. So if that's what your goal is, and you get up there and do this, you're like, hell, he'll never make it. He can't move into that position before he launches. You don't have enough time in your, I mean, you'd have to go. So most of us kind of get to there. We know that's where it's at. And we just kind of go, all right, I'm ready. And they can go, boom! And they just drop their barrel, lower their elbow, and go, whack! And so as you start to play with that, you can start to, when you pull back, you feel, I can swing from right there. And you'll feel where it's at. And it's not something that I'm going to tell you ever what your stance should be. It's what does your body do to get on plane fast. I bet it was down. So when you stand right there, now that you've had this conversation, if you get in the batter's box and I'm calling pitches, get up there in that stance like you just showed me. You're playing for the Bradley Bears and stick your bat straight up and down. How well are you going to be able to hit that ball?
Right before Chris swings, Chris bring it in like this. He'll bring it in. Up though. That's where it's locked into that.
You're not anywhere near the plane. So rotation doesn't help you. So you wind up doing something else. And because you're so strong, you probably can go this and probably hit the ball, and everybody goes, oh, sweet, he's hit it in the gap. Well, we don't want you hitting it in the gap. I need you to hit it on the friggin' tennis court. And I've taken kids to Bradley Central and watched them do it. All the way on top of it. Tomas did it. Cooper did it. You're just like, ooh. Like it's a shot. Now, I don't really know if it actually landed on it, but I do know that it had a dang good shot. Like you're like, golly. And that's what we want. I don't need you because you're strong. You're going to run out of athleticism and strength if you're going to play this game past being a high schooler. And that's what we want. How far past it, that's got nothing to do with us. But as a hitter, if I'm giving you something, the system has to be able to translate up into collegiate, professional, and I hope one of these days I have a big leaguer. Like I'm pretty close where I've got 4 or 5 of them that are like, I got this. So let's take you through a couple more drills. In working on this, what we do is we remove your feet so that we don't have worried about all this. And so I make you stand in different positions. So this is 90 degrees, this is 45 degrees, and this is 0, I guess. This is just your normal stance. We've been hitting out of 0 the whole time. So I'm going to hit a few balls out of 45, and then we'll do 90. And I'm working, you now know I'm working on either the pullback or in the coil. I'm going to do one of each, and then you can do it. Again, forgive me if I'm right-handed. There's my good plane. I think my shoulders are pretty close. And as I pull this thing back, you'll notice that this foot right here is able to turn, but this guy's my anchor. And I'm not allowing my knee to roll out. I'm not allowed to get on the outside of my foot. I'm just turning back, and I'm getting in that good position, and then I'm going. And I didn't swing all the way through. I just tried to use my turn to get back. And I'm in 45, which takes out all the forward movement. So most kids get here and they're like wanting to do this. And you're like, well, in this position, all you have to hit it with is rotation. You have no forward movement to rely on. And then even if you're getting in 90 degrees and really working around a leg and going in a really tighter space, I think it's even better because look how deep I'm in the zone here. And if I hold that same position and get in my stance, I'm getting in the zone way back here. And if I'm able to do that, I can hit the ball that way. And you'll be able to hit the ball this way, not just in center field a little bit over there, but right down the line for a home run. How do you do that? Well, you practice in 90 degrees going, yeah! Here we go, 45s. hands up. Yes. Yep. And your plane's good. Your rotation's good. A little stiff in the wrist right there. That ain't. Good. Make sure this front, make sure your back leg anchors. And I'd love for you to use it a little bit. Oh! Let me go. Watch my leg. 45. Pull back. I peel, my leg goes, and it peels my heel off the ground. I'm not doing that and twisting. I'm turning everything up here, and because my bones are in my leg, it peels it up. What if I hold it down and stop it? Then I'm limiting my rotation. So allowing my feet to peel up off the ground and allowing my body to move, I think makes sense. So if I watch you and your feet are just locked in the ground, I don't want you to use your feet. I want you to use this part. I want you to rotate. But at some point, this heel's going to come up and you're going to at least make it to there. You're probably not going to make it to there because we're not a twister. We're not on our back leg and we're not trying to do stuff. But as you learn to do these in 90 and in 45, it's like, yeah, that helps translate up into your space. 90 degrees. Let's do 3. Oh, man. Same thing. Get in them legs. Get your barrel and your hands matched. Yep. Work right around that leg. Yep. Yep. And you can do a stop swing, a no roll swing, or a full swing. Great no roll swing. First time you've done one. Ready? Get it matched. Close your eyes. Go. I'll be dang. I'll be dang. If nothing else says it better than that. Last one. Take a quick break. We do 190 from the left side. I ain't very good right-handed. Got a nice picture of it. We'll turn and kind of get on that leg and try to get a little bit more so I'm almost back to like I would be in my stance. Like I'm trying to get around that leg and work around it. So I'm a little bit more here so that I can now go boom, and make it come off. Like I think I got as much out of my ball with less rotation than you did with your ball. You agree? Yeah. And so as you practice it, like you're not there, but you ain't very far. Like once you get the idea down in your head, like what you're trying to do, then it's just practice. Like it's just efficiency, and it's like, and me and him both, when you do it better than you did the last one, it's like, oh, you just see it. Like you just see the path and the plane. It just does. So